We frequently need to compare numbers to each other to determine whether they're the same number. That is, they are equal to each other. If not, we want to determine which number is larger and which one is smaller. And we frequently denote these comparisons with the greater than and less than signs, as shown. The best approach when dealing with ratios is to convert either ratio or both ratios to their decimal version, and then compare them when they have the same number of digits after the decimal point. For example, if we were comparing 0.2 to 0.14, these two decimal numbers do not have the same number of digits after the decimal point. We can lengthen the shorter one by adding zeros. In this case, we would add a 0 after the 2, and then we would be comparing 0.20 or 0.20 to 0.14. Notice in this case, the 0.20 is actually a larger number, so we would use the greater than sign, opening to the larger number and pointing to the smaller number. That's different than if I were just to compare 0.2 to 0.14 and consider that a comparison of 2 to 14. 14 would be larger, but I'm not comparing decimal numbers with the same number of digits after the decimal point, so they don't represent the same value. If I'm comparing two fractions to each other, a way to make the comparison between them is to convert them both to decimal numbers. Remember that the bar in a fraction means division. So if I take a calculator and divide 5 by 8, I will get 0.625 as the decimal version of that fraction. 9 divided by 13 would approximate to 0.6923 if I did the same thing. I've rounded this number to a precision of 10 thousandths, but it still represents enough digits to compare to the 0.625 I have for the 5/8. Now again, I have two decimal numbers, one of which has a greater precision and has more digits. So in order to compare them, remember I need to have the same number of digits after the decimal point. So I add zeros to the shorter number, in this case the 0.625, until it has the same number of digits, and then I can compare them properly. Comparing 6,250 to 6,923, I can see that the 6,923, or 9/13, is the larger of the two numbers, and therefore use the less than sign that points to the left, to the smaller number, and opens towards the larger number, 9/13.